Hello everyone. Today is Reboot, Recharge, and Refill Your Brain Monday. I am inspirational author, life speaker, and yes, a surrender rope of hope, Angelina Squire. So it's Monday, you guys. You know it's time for me to come back wearing my purple, yes, to remind you all that you are royalty. So today, what we're going to do for each month, we're going to come up with a word. And whatever that word is, that's what we will talk about for the month. So over the weekend, what was revealed to me and my Holy Spirit to talk about for 4 weeks now was the word change. C-H-A-N-G-E, change. So that's the word that we're going to talk about now for 4 weeks. And then we'll see what the Holy Spirit revealed as we move on. So today we're going to cut the cords of self-pity. We're cutting the cords of excuses, of why we can't change or really why we won't change. So again, today's focus word and for the rest of the month will be change. Anytime that we stay in the familiarity, right, it's very easy to do this because, there's comfort there and there's safety there. And for those of you who have been watching my videos, we talked about comfort zones several times, and we discovered that within comfort zones, nothing grows there, right? In fact, within comfort zones, things die. So within that comfort zone, nothing grows, meaning we won't pursue anything, we won't do anything new or different. We just go ahead and settle for, wherever we are at that particular time. Change will always require us to conquer old patterns, and it will always, challenge us to do things differently. You can't make anything new without getting rid of the old, right? We have to destroy the old self. Ephesians chapter 4, verses 22 through 24. A large part of who we are is hinged upon our habits, right? It's hinged upon the habits that we possess. Now, yes, good habits can establish a foundation for a positive life, that's filled with abundance. But what about the bad habits? What about the bad habits that we continue to, hold on to and operate within on a daily basis? So the bad habits does completely opposite of the good habits that we, practice, that we live out from day to day. So today, let's expose some reasons why it's hard for people to make changes within their lives. And there are many, but we'll cover a few today. It's hard to change sometimes, number one, because of the large portion of our lives, we live it in fear. We're always fearful of, what if this doesn't work, or what if that happened? So we're always living in this constant fear. Number two, anxiety. 3, stress. And it doesn't take much for stress to, rob us of our joy, our life each and every day because of the world that we live in today, different demands on jobs, at home with our children, businesses, and so forth. We experience, hard times, unexpected blows. So it's so easy for us to get, some form of some stress within our life. So again, it's hard to change because of we're living in fear. A large portion of our life, again, we live day to day in fear with the what ifs, right? Anxiety, again, stress, and worry. We were always worrying about something. For example, like for those of you that have, like myself, I have an autistic son, or some of you may be caring for, a disabled or a sickly loved one, or you may be ill yourself, like with my son, I deal with, the worrying of what will come of him, if I leave the world before him. Yes, I have my husband, he has his brother and sister, but as a mother, you still think, there's a part of you that's saying that, no one is going to love my child like me, so what's going to happen? So that is always in the back of your mind. We're worrying about our children, our spouses, we're worrying if our job's going to be secure. We're just always worrying about something. And again, that can paralyze us from making changes within our lives. And 5, one that's really difficult is the negativity that we get from others. How some people mistreat you, and even without a sure cause, they're just nasty towards you. They do things to hurt you, try to intimidate you. But not only the negativity from others, what about the negativity even from our own selves? Sometimes we could be our own worst critic. We can say some things to ourselves and over ourselves just as, mean and nasty as cold as someone on the outside. So I stopped by today to encourage you to stop allowing the fact that, when you have to face your pain, when you don't face it, it will prevent you from progress. So get out of that mindset today. Release that fear. Face whatever pain you have to face in order to make that change so it does not prevent you from progressing in life. Don't allow fear again to keep whispering into your mindset each and every day, telling you that you do not deserve a better life. How many times have you even talked yourself out of something that could have been great for you, but after having a conversation with yourself, you just completely convince yourselves that you're not good enough for that, that is for someone else. So again, cut the cord of self-pity. Cut the cord of doubt on today. No more doing things that that's damaging to you, things that are toxic to you, and not only toxic to you, it can become toxic around, people that are around you, your family, friends, anyone. So you have to, again, cut the cord of self-pity, because anytime you're in that self-pity state, you're not going to do anything. You're just going to stay in that moment. You're going to feel all those negative emotions that comes along with self-pity. And each and every day, you have to check your motivation tank. You have to check your motivation tank. Even the best of us, we have those, down days. We have those days where our energy is low and we need someone, sometime to push us, to encourage us, to get us back into a positive mental state. So check your motivation tank, because that will drive you to feeling sad, emotional sometime, and you don't even know why you're even feeling like that. And it can really dampen your day, dampen your life. And the reason why I'm telling you to always check your motivation tank, because lack of motivation or no motivation at all is very huge, to us. It becomes a huge barrier to change. So again, when your motivation is low, when you lack motivation, it's a barrier. It becomes a blockade to change within your life. It's like it puts up these like prison bars in front of you, and you think that, I'm stuck here. I can't go around it. This is my life. This is how it's going to be for me each and every day. But as born again believers, look at what Paul writes in Romans 8 verses 18. For I consider that the sufferings of the present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. So regardless of what, we have to face, if we're born again believers, we can always look to the fact, look upon the glory of God. That tells us that even though we're going through some hard things, we're going through some stuff that we don't even understand, God has something greater within us. We know that He's gonna make everything work, out for our good. And in 1 John chapter 3 verses 1 through 2, when you read that, it just further lets us know that we have awesome potential. We have awesome potential, but again, when we're tied up in stress, worrying, when we lack motivation, when we're stuck in our comfort zones, we don't see that we have potentials. But if you are a born again believer, you have Christ living on the inside of you. You were created by the Creator, so there's creativity within you. We are God's children. So if we are God's children, if you are truly a born again believer, a child of God, you have been and are being inwardly renewed, right? And we're being inwardly renewed by the power of God's Spirit. And He loves us. No matter what we're going through, we should always know and grab a hold of the fact that He loves us. And if we truly know and truly believe just how much He loves us, then we can truly love ourselves enough to change for His glory. We can truly love ourselves enough to change for the better. We can truly love ourselves to become change, right? To become a light for someone else that's struggling. So again, cut the cord of excuses. Cut that cord of self-pity and make the changes that you need to make. And I'm going to leave you with these last steps that will help you when it comes to change. Number one, you have to have a readiness mindset. So that means you have to already mentally prepare yourself to know that, okay, I need to change. And a readiness, you have to also be willing to accept that it's going to get real. That means that you're going to have to really face yourself and find some things within you that you don't even like. So you're going to have to face that ugliness each and every day, right? You got to be ready to do that. And number two, you must ask God. You can't miss this one. You must ask God for help, to help you to identify the changes that you need to make in your life. Because sometimes, there are some things about us that we don't even know, or we don't, see even within ourselves. So you have to ask God to help you to identify those things, because if you don't know what's going on with you and what needs to be changed, then change cannot take place. And number three, it's only in your willingness, you got to want it, your willingness to change, to improve, and to have clarity of the changes that you need to make. And number four, and you have to know the underlying reasons why you need to make those changes, because when you know the reasons why, the importance of why you need to change certain things in your life, this will position you with a solid start towards even making any changes, right? So your focus on mindful as I leave you on today, and you can not only remember this just for the day, but remember it for the week, the month, however long you need to make it your own and own it. Repeat after me. In order for me to get out of the trap of having my habits and my behaviors continuously working against me, the same way that I became trapped within them is the same way that I'm going to become free. Now you probably saying, what does she mean? The same way that I got trapped in them is the same way that I'm going to get, free from them. In other words, everything that's positive, everything that's negative, it didn't happen overnight, right? It was a gradual, process. For instance, like for those of you who may be overweight, this is an area that I struggle with. I no longer struggle with it because I made the changes to deal with it. So if you are dealing with weight issues, right? It didn't happen overnight. It was a gradual, process. It was years of bad eating, years of drinking sugary drinks, years of probably perhaps some of you not even, exercising. So these are things that happen over time. So just like we develop those bad habits over time, good habits have to be developed over time too, but they can't happen if you're not willing to face yourself and be real with yourself and identify those things that you need to change. So if I decided to have a healthy lifestyle, healthy eating, I can't go drive through McDonald's and come up with the excuse, well, I don't feel like cooking today, so I'm just going to grab a burger and fries. Now you know how we justify our wrong, right? So that's something that you're going to have to do. You're going to have to stop justifying your wrong, to make it feel good for you to go ahead and do it. And that's a trick of the enemy right there. He will have you justify your wrong so that you can continue to be trapped within your particular situation. So again, remember, we're talking about change, because anytime you want to grow, anytime you want better, anytime you want more for your life, it does require some change. It may not be the same change as somebody but whatever that change is for you, you have to put in that necessary action and change. You have to ask God again to help you to identify that. And once He identifies that, write it down. You have to have a plan. Sometimes we attempt to go at things and work at things and we don't even have a plan, so we don't even know what to do. Visual is very powerful. So if you write it down, you have something every day. You have steps every day that you can look at and say, okay, this is what I need to do. This is what I'm going to do today. This is how I'm going to do it each and every day. You have your personal lifestyle blueprint. So again, if you want to change, if you want to grow, if you want to see God's best within your life, then it does require us daily to look at some of the things that's blocking our progress, that's blocking us from the things of God. We have to look at those areas and we have to make the necessary change. So I thank you guys for watching me on another Reboot, Recharge, and Refill Your Brain Monday. Cut the cord again today of self-pity, self-doubt, no more making excuses, so that you can grow and flourish into the person that God created you to be. Bless you all. I love you all so very much, and I will see you all next week.